For the better part of 2 decades, just two companies have basically owned our window to the internet. But now, a whole new wave of technology is asking a really disruptive question. Are the days of Chrome and Safari's dominance numbered? To figure out what's coming, we first have to understand the world they built. So let's dive in.
Just look at these numbers. This isn't just a market, it's a duopoly. Google's Chrome and Apple Safari together control a whopping 86% of how we get on the web. They are, without a doubt, the gatekeepers of the internet.
But here's the big, crazy idea that could change everything. What if the fundamental job of a browser, what a browser is about to be completely reimagined?
To really get a handle on that shift, we first need to appreciate how we even got here. So, let's unpack how these two giants ended up ruling the entire web. For years, the battle for your browser has always been about the same few things, right? How fast can it load a page? How much memory is it eating up? And, maybe most importantly, how well does it lock into Google's services or Apple's hardware? That was the whole game.
But now, we're seeing a new wave of challengers pop up, and they are playing a completely different game. They're not even on the same field.
This right here, this slide just nails the revolution we're talking about. For years, your browser has basically just been a fancy document viewer. It shows you things. An AI browser, though, wants to be an intelligent agent. It doesn't just show you things, it does things.
And the magic behind this is something called agentic AI. This is the secret sauce. So instead of just searching, imagine telling your browser, hey, find me the best rated Italian place within a 10-minute walk and book a table for 2 at 7 p.m. Agentic AI is what could actually make that happen.
And believe me, the race is already on. You've got players like OpenAI's ChatGPT Atlas, which is all about remembering your past sessions for better context. Then there's Comet, which is laser-focused on those do-it-for-me tasks. Dia is there to help you write, and Sigma is coming in with a privacy-first approach. They're all betting on a different angle to try and win you over. So what's the big deal here? What can these new browsers actually do for you? Let's look at how this whole thing shifts you from just searching for information to actually accomplishing your goals. This is the huge change in how you'll actually use the internet. Think about it. Right now, if you're planning a trip, you open 10 different tabs, and your brain has to be the one to connect all the dots. The promise of an AI browser is that it does that synthesis for you. It understands how all those tabs relate to each other and just gives you the answer. And these are the killer features that make it all possible. Contextual intelligence, real task automation, a memory that actually remembers what you were working on last week, and built-in tools for things like writing or creating images. For a student or any knowledge worker, this could literally condense hours of research down to minutes. It's a game changer. I think this quote just perfectly captures how big this change is. We are not talking about slightly better predictive text. No way. This is like having a personal research assistant built right into your browser, doing the heavy mental lifting for you. Okay, but before we start writing obituaries for Chrome or Safari, let's get real for a second. The giants in this story, they are not going down without a massive fight. And this, right here, this is their fortress. The power of the default setting is immense. Most people just don't change their browser. An AI browser has to be so unbelievably, undeniably better to get someone to actually make the switch. That inertia is a massive, massive wall to climb. And on top of that, these challengers are sailing into a perfect storm. The tech is still new, it's buggy, AI can hallucinate and just make stuff up, and giving an AI agent full access to your browser, that opens up a whole new can of worms for security. At the end of the day, it all boils down to trust. And maybe the biggest hurdle of all, the big guys aren't just sitting around watching this happen. Google is already baking Gemini into Chrome. Apple is boosting Safari's intelligence, and Microsoft has gone all in with Copilot and Edge. With billions of users already in their pocket, they can roll these features out at a scale the challengers can only dream of. So, where does all this leave us? What's the end game? Well, it might not be about one side winning, but about the entire game itself changing. What we're probably going to see is a two-speed internet. On one hand, you'll have these super advanced AI-native browsers for professionals and power users who need every last drop of capability. And then, for the rest of us, Chrome and Safari will just slowly, carefully absorb the most popular AI features. But here's a wild thought. What if the browser itself just becomes less important?
As our AI assistants get smarter and more capable, we might spend way less time inside a browser at all. We'll just ask our AI to do the work, and the browser just becomes a tool in the background. Suddenly, the whole war is kind of irrelevant.
So that's really the key takeaway here. The very nature of how we interact with the web is completely up for grabs. And the question you're going to have to answer for yourself is, what do you want your gateway to the internet to be? Do you want a passive window you just look through, or an active partner that works with you?